Where I got these. I guess that's not true. Good.
Good.
Luann, any word on the rest of your peeps? All right. Vince late, that's crazy. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and the Star Ledger, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. OPMA authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings through use of streaming services and other online meeting platforms. The Red Bank Council is meeting in person, as well as providing an option for the public to participate via Zoom video meetings. Please note that the option to attend is being provided as a courtesy. Therefore, if Zoom becomes unavailable during the meeting and it cannot quickly be fixed, council will continue with the remainder of the meeting. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you're appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call, please, Laura.
Councilmember Bonatakis. Here. Councilmember Cassidy.
Present.
Councilmember Facey Blackwood. Here. Councilmember Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janone.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano.
Here.
Mayor Portman.
I am here. Thank you. Well, we have a bunch of presentations to do, which is why I want to point out Luann Peter Paul, our Assemblywoman, was here and on time. Thank you, right? But our other Assemblywoman, Margie Donlin, as well as our State Senator, Vin Gopal, are en route. So we're just going to move ahead with a bit of the other business, and then as soon as they roll in, we'll jump back to our presentations. Everyone all right with that? All right, good. So the first thing we have is public comment on agenda items only. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment on agenda items only?
I'll make such a motion. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Oh, my God.
So if anyone has any comments on the existing agenda items only, please feel free to step forward. Anyone online there, Jim?
Nobody with their hand raised.
No? This is my other concern, is we're gonna fly through these other agenda items too quickly, and I'm gonna just start to speak really slowly. Oh, he is? Okay, oh, good, all right, that's one, but maybe all right, we'll see how it goes. Can I have a motion to close the floor for public comments on agenda items only?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from 8/8/2024?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes, the executive session minutes from 8/8/2024?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, I did notice that one of our honorees is here, and we don't need Vin and Margie for this one, so we're gonna honor Mark Waschak.
Oh.
So here we go. There's a proclamation from the Borough of Red Bank recognizing Mark Waschak. Whereas I'm gonna have to say your name like 30 times in this, aren't I? All right. Voz, there you go. Waschak. See, there we go. Whereas Mark Waschak of Mark Waschak Mechanical Contractors has demonstrated exceptional expertise, knowledge, and commitment to the Borough of Red Bank for over 4 decades. And whereas Mark Waschak began his service to the borough in the early 1980s, installing, repairing, and replacing vital infrastructure such as hydrants, water mains, water and sewer lines, laterals, and stormwater mains for road improvement programs. And whereas in 2003, the borough began bidding out contracts for all utility road work, Mark Waschak was awarded the first in every contract since, a testament to his fairness, outstanding reputation, and quality of work. And whereas on July 11th, 2024, when a force main break occurred in the transit lot, Mark Voschek and his crew responded with unparalleled speed and efficiency, working tirelessly to assess, stage, and repair the damaged main, ultimately preventing a potential environmental disaster. And whereas Mark Voschek's dedication to the borough extends beyond his contractual obligations, as evidenced by his decision to stay overnight in the transit lot to monitor the repair and ensure its successful completion. Now, therefore, I, William Portman, Mayor of the Borough of Red Bank, on behalf of the council and citizenry, do hereby proclaim our deepest gratitude and admiration for Mark Voschek, a true hero for our community. His unwavering commitment to the safety, well-being, and prosperity of our town is truly commendable, and we are honored to affectionately recognize him as our very own Dirty Jobs King. Mark, we have to give you this book.
This is so much fun.
Yes. Look at Mary now.
Hold on, pull it from the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Twist around.
All right.
Wait a minute. Thank you.
Wait, one
All
more.
right, hold on, one more.
Here we
I
go.
don't want to block it.
Look at me, look at me, chins up, all your chins, big deep. Four. Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice to meet you in person. Oh. See your names on contracts.
Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I got down here.
All right, thank you.
I gotta talk to you, but did they call you?
We paid the bill. No.
They talked to you about Mom Street?
I just want to.
Working this.
I just want to say really quick, yeah, Mark is always working. Mark works in 28 municipalities,
28.
28 municipalities in Monmouth County. This was a big job in Red Bank as far as an emergency operation. If anybody knows Mark, Mark has a big voice. And you know when Mark's on the job site. When I was about 3 blocks away and I could hear Mark's voice, I was at ease because I knew that we were in really good hands. So I really appreciate all the work Mark's done. Having been administrator in Seagirt previously, Mark works in Seagirt in that community as well. And I was happy to see him there. He's a friendly face and he's been in this community a really long time. So we are in really good hands. Thank you very much, Mark.
I just wanted to point out also, I don't normally wear sandals to a council meeting. It's not because I lived in California for 15 years. I had a little procedure on my toe today and I don't want to put shoes on. Just full disclosure. We ran on a campaign of transparency and I just wanted to honor that. I see Margie made it in. We're 2 down. Yeah, right. And I'm just gonna, maybe I'll jump around. Let's see what else we can cover while we're waiting for Vin. How about we approve our resolutions, okay? Does anyone have any resolution they want to pull out, or can we do them all on the consent agenda?
You good?
What
Resolutions?
about
Ordinance.
Well, I took the ordinance, I guess we can do the ordinance.
Like say relative.
All right, we'll stay. All right, fair enough. So first up is a public hearing and adoption of 2024-36, the ordinance amending the salary ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank. I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone have any comments on this ordinance? Anyone online?
Sure.
All right, I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance only.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-36.
So moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy?
Yes.
Councilmember Facie Blackwood? Yes. Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano?
Yes.
Mayor Portman?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. I don't know if all of you are enjoying this. I'm sure Barbara is loving this, right? Barbara, wait, you're in heaven right now, right? All right. Next up is a public hearing and adoption of 2024-37, the ordinance amending chapter 64 Fire Department to revise the annual eligibility requirements for the borough's length of service awards program for volunteer firefighters. Can I have a motion to open the public hearing on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone have any comments on?
Aye.
No?
Just record. Cassidy and I abstained on that.
Right. Yes, I might as well explain. We have two current active duty firefighters here who serve on council, so they abstain for all ordinances concerning the fire department. No comments. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing on this ordinance only?
So moved.
Can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-37?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Cassidy?
Abstain.
Councilmember Tracy Blackwood?
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janone?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Giuliano?
Abstain.
Mayor Portman?
Yes. Thank you, Laura. Our next ordinance 2024-38. I'm gonna ask to
Mayor, you have a couple options there, and I actually hadn't had a chance to discuss it with Councilmember Blackwood. But long story short, the lead-based paint ordinance spells out the basic requirements, but there's actually more that a landlord can do to get a higher certification that's not spelled out specifically in there. And Nancy had pointed out that if you're a landlord, you wanted to go for the gold, it's not necessarily obvious to you from the code, which is a very astute point. So we can either conduct a public hearing and adopt this now and then add that at the next meeting, or we can table this and then revise it and bring it back and reintroduce it at the same time. It's really, I don't really have a recommendation either way. There's just two procedural routes to be candid with you. You could adopt this and we could add to it and revise it again, or we could table this for now and reintroduce it at the next meeting and then do the public hearing again.
Your pleasure.
Well, on the one hand, it would be good to proceed with it because it will kill more time till Vin gets here. But I'm thinking, we're gonna table it. Yeah, yes, yes.
Put it all correct.
Can I have a second?
Someone Blackwood.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
I
right.
was just gonna say something about that because there are two levels of certification. One is lead-free and one is lead-safe. Lead-safe is the one where you have to get certified every 2 years. Lead-free involves more testing, but it's a one and done. And it wasn't very clear when I was coming through the ordinance, and a resident had raised some concerns to Councilor Cassidy as well. So that's all it is.
Thanks for your due diligence.
Thank you.
Okay, we have our resolutions.
Senator.
Resolution.
Oh, hey, Vin. I've been ad-libbing here, madly waiting for you to get here.
Anything else on the agenda?
Yeah, we're almost done with the agenda, Vin. But let's go ahead. Let's jump to these. Everyone's been very patient here, so I'm gonna ask our Senator Gopal and our Assemblywomen Donald and Peter Paul to come up, and Barbara Bennett. Can you want to join them in the front here?
Yay. This is great.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Sure. We're very thrilled to be here. Thank you to the mayor and council for inviting us to present this resolution and proclamation for Barbara Bennett, an esteemed member of the Garden State who is really a trailblazer. And I mean, reading through your history, it's just, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for blazing the trail for so many women in politics, from where you started in the 1960s. And everything that you've done. I'm just going to read this because it gives us a sense of who you are and what you've done.
We want it read.
Can I read it?
Yes.
Thing, the whole.
I don't always read these. Whereas The Senate and the General Assembly of the State of New Jersey are pleased to recognize the Honorable Barbara Bennett, a highly esteemed member of her Garden State community, and to commend her remarkable lifetime achievement in benefit of her fellow citizens. And whereas widely renowned for her determination and civic mindedness, Barbara Bennett launched her illustrious political career in the 1960s when she was elected to the Council for the Township of Willingboro, where she went on to serve as mayor for 2 terms. Whereas her extensive record of inspired and effective leadership earned for her the deepest respect of all who knew her exceptional accomplishments. And in 1977, the year I was born, she won a seat in the New Jersey General Assembly, becoming the first female to represent Burlington County in the state legislature, a position she held until 1991. And whereas during her exemplary tenure, Barbara Bennett broke new ground for women as the first to speak at the municipal manager session at the League of Municipalities, and the first to chair the Assembly Appropriations Committee.
Let's
and the
go.
South Jersey Legislative Coalition. Wow, power woman. Amazing. And there she secured additional claim as the first female deputy speaker. And whereas as a result of her extraordinary understanding of issues and needs and her uncommon degree of public spiritedness, Barbara Bennett has inspired the participation and commitment of countless others and infused New Jerseyans with a spirit of unity and commitment to succeed. And whereas within all the spheres of her life and work, Barbara Bennett has established a model to emulate and a standard of which excellence towards others might strive. And whereas it is altogether proper and fitting for this legislature to acknowledge Barbara Bennett and to praise her as a person of strong character and boundless fortitude, now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the State of New Jersey that this legislature hereby lauds Barbara Bennett, pays tribute to her meritorious legacy of service, leadership, and dedication, and extends sincere benefits and continued success in all her future endeavors. Be it further resolved that a duly authenticated copy of this resolution signed by the Senate President, the Assembly Speaker, and attested by the Senate Secretary and the Assembly Clerk be transmitted to the Honorable Barbara Bennett. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I just think, yes, yes.
No slack.
Fine.
Unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, and it's been a long while since I've done it. I want to say thank you to you, and of course to you. And to that nice lady. To you. Being here in a municipal building, probably for the first time in 30 years, and listening to the course of hearing resolutions and deciding what to vote on brings back really great memories for me. That was my first real entry into politics, and it probably gave me the ability and the experience and the knowledge to move on. I spoke to some of the council people here earlier, and I said the reason people run for office isn't to get the office name after the title after their names. It's because they truly believe they can do something for somebody. And that's what public service is all about. It's being able to do something for somebody. If you feel something is wrong that you can correct, you suddenly have the ability to do it. And I was reading one of the resolutions here about firefighters, volunteer firefighters. And that was one of the important things I did during my tenure as a legislator. One of the firemen from Riverside, New Jersey, had a heart attack on his way home from a fire. and he could not collect his disability. I immediately put a piece of legislation in. Within 2 weeks, he was able to collect his disability, and that was only. Those are the kind of little things that you can do as a council person and as a legislator. And you're so aware of what people's needs are because you're all over the place. I mean, you're all over your district, you talk to people from all walks of life and from all economic status. And you know what the people in your district need, and you go about it day after day after day. I congratulate all of you. I wish you all the best of luck.
How's Red Bank? How's Red Bank?
In Red Bank?
Yeah, how is it here in Red Bank? Council, town, does it bring back a lot of memories?
What did I say, Willenboro?
How is it seeing these folks? Does it bring back any memories? Do you miss being an elected official?
That's a good question.
You're so funny.
In some ways, yes.
You're excited.
But it was very hard work. I mean, I remember having, 18-hour days, 7 days a week.
Good pay though, right?
Their resolution for a salary, my salary, the first term as a councilwoman was $1,000 a year. I got a raise when I became the mayor. It was
Hasn't changed much.
$1,200 a year.
Inflation.
We're at 3,400.
Anyway, the people from like the atrium where I live are sitting here.
Yeah. You have nice friends.
The first time they ever knew what I did.
Oh.
So thank you all for coming, and that's my son, Judge Paley.
And I know this is not a Q&A, you guys have to stencil. How did you end up at the atrium in Red Bank?
How did I end up with the atrium in Red Bank? You have a river outside of the that was.
Not in Willingboro, huh?
That was the big draw, and I am so glad I did. It was probably one of the wisest decisions of my life. I love living in Red Bank. I love being able to walk to the library, to the theater, to the drugstore. I mean, I'm a Bronx girl. I come from the Bronx. We walked everywhere. We had a road, we didn't have cars. We walked, and so this reminds me of living in the Bronx, except it's a little bit better.
Nice.
Thank you all very much.
I am honored to have two firsts with me, first woman doctor, first openly gay woman, both in New Jersey legislator. And I talked to my colleague, Senator Singleton, who represents Willingboro, and the things he had to say about this incredible trailblazer, what she went through in the 70s and 80s to allow so many women to come before who never ever thought about politics. They saw her name when she visited their classrooms. She's a true inspiration. And so I appreciate the governing body for allowing us to be here and recognizing your incredible resident.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It's not like you haven't done this before.
Four times. Oh, yeah, totally. Stand up.
Big teeth, chins up. Let you shoot.
Sorry, you said you don't have anything on the agenda. Council, join us for a quick photo.
So you have nothing on?
We're almost done, that's what I said.
Before I leave the stage, I just want to introduce my son, Judge Haley.
Come on up, Judge. Give you a photo?
I'm just saying. What happened?
Not in there.
Yes.
Right.
I know, you guys are tall today. Am I walking right up? Tell me now.
You're
I'll
good.
go this way.
Totally good.
Lock your jeans, okay.
Ready?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
That's awesome.
You have a place in Spring Lake?
No, I was at record dancing. 30 years.
When did you join the match?
About 6 months ago.
Judiciary?
What's that?
Was that on judiciary that time?
Council, I guess your return to the dais, we have one more presentation to do.
Single citizens spoke.
Was it before January or after January? After January.
January
January 4th, I was on.
Gotta do another one.
Always like.
Yeah.
Oh, you were not okay.
Actually, Ben, you can stay up here. Margie, you can stay up here too, because
Luann didn't.
we have another honoree here.
I think he's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, we're gonna be honoring Sarah Mazzone, Monmouth County Teacher of the Year.
I want to say a couple of things. Barbara, you are an inspiration, I think, to every woman, whether they're in politics or not. So thank you for what you do. Second, I've never been entertained as much in the council meeting as I have in this council meeting.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of love here.
Bi-weekly occurrence.
But I really want to emphasize why Dr. Mazzone is standing up here due to her dedication to education, for caring of students. And, you know, I co-authored New Jersey's Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights, and I fully understand your passion and your desire to help our students. So if I may read.
Good, they have nothing on there yet.
Sarah V. A highly esteemed resident of the Garden State, has secured distinction from the New Jersey Department of Education, which is not an easy thing to do. It doesn't say that. As this state's 2024-2025 Teacher of the Year for Monmouth County. And whereas the Senate and General Assembly of the state of New Jersey are pleased to recognize Dr. Sarah V. Mazzone upon this felicitous occasion and commend her considerable accomplishments as an outstanding educator within the Red Bank Regional School District, which have earned her this prestigious accolade. And whereas a widely admired English teacher who joined Red Bank High School in 2010, oh, I was born that year. Is an illustrious graduate of Monmouth University, and who published her first work, Watchmen as Literature, a critical study of the graphic novel, before furthering her education with a doctoral degree in educational leadership from Rowan University. And whereas this talented writer, who strives to inspire her students through her high ideals and dedication, has continued to pen additional books, essays, and papers. And in doing so, she has demonstrated a steadfast commitment to scholarship and lifelong learning. And whereas wholly devoted to the success of her students, Dr. Sarah V. Mazzone creates new curriculum, really important, tutors those in need of help, and is always available to assist with college essays and letters of recommendation, really important too. And whereas the leaders of tomorrow are made each day in classrooms throughout New Jersey, and the people of this state are indebted to remarkable educators exemplified by Dr. Sarah V. Mazzone, who utilizes her unique skills to ensure a bright future filled with hope and promise. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate and General Assembly of the state of New Jersey that this legislature hereby congratulates Dr. Sarah V. Mazzone in tribute to her meritorious record of service and achievement, and extends sincere best wishes for continued success in all days to come. And be it further resolved that a duly authenticated copy of this resolution, signed by the Senate President and the Assembly Speaker, and attested by the Senate Secretary and Assembly Clerk, be transmitted to Dr. Sarah V. Mazzone. Thank you.
Hold on.
Here he comes.
Been over there.
You can't run in those sandals.
Can't run on flip flops, you're right.
You'd have to.
Focus in on the go.
Better toes on a frog.
I did not, no, but actually. Such a special place in my heart. It really is. The passion
for me today, but I did just want to say that I have been having such a great time attending films this week at the Indy Street Film Festival. Shorts, full length, it's been great, and there's more over the weekend, and everyone should go if you can. Thanks.
Just a couple quick things. I'd like to acknowledge the Elks for the first responders night they put on. They acknowledged Captain Breezy as the police officer of the year, and two firefighters as well, Bree Hartman and Alan Soden Jr. Alan for his efforts in an attempt to save the life over at Evergreen Terrace. So I want to acknowledge that, but also with the police, they did such a great job with National Night Out yet again. It's so clear how much people look forward to that annually at this point. Just since I'm here, I saw the news about Bob Zuckerman is going to resign at the end of the year, and I just want to thank Bob for his years leading River Center and for giving such advance notice. I think that's really important for the transition. But I also just want to note, we just have so much coming up in town. We have Dog Days. I'm not going to steal your thunder, but on the same day is another record ride. I heard from Steve today. Porch Fest is coming. I don't know, there's a lot of energy. That Elm Street Block Party is excellent. I've been a couple times. And Hispanic Heritage Day on the 15th of September is coming up. And then we have the Halloween parade. There's a lot coming. And it's a great time of year here. Thank you.
Yes.
Sure, I'd like to acknowledge all the work and the effort that went into National Night Out. Kids had a great time. I thought that was great. The Environmental Commission has started the launch of their gas-powered leaf blower educational campaign. And, you know, when you start with something like that, you start right in the borough, and they had a meeting with the DPU director. And, you know, just talked about the impacts that gas-powered leaf blowers have. On the shade tree side, I'm trying to get them more interested, finding ways to increase the tree canopy that does not involve always planting in the planting strip. You know, it might involve, I think Fairhaven had an event where they had made a contest where kids wrote an essay why trees are important, and then the essays were graded, and the kids family who wrote the best essay, I think there were 3 of them, got free trees from the borough. The borough then identified where the tree should be planted it for them, and then, you know, borough's done. But, you know, in a town where we have, we're beginning to have, climate change is happening, it's real, we're gonna have a lot more heat island effect. The use of trees as a way to mitigate the excess heat that's happening is critical. Short of, and then of course, the next thing is transportation. So segueing into that, on Harrison Avenue, they're looking at, can I say that, Jim? Okay, about Harrison Avenue? Okay. Sorry, just started. Okay. Harrison Avenue, the borough is looking at trialing a bike lane on that street. It's one of the streets that's being targeted as part of the road program. And so the suggestion was, hey, that's a nice wide street. Let's see if we can put in a bike lane, and bike lane that we're putting in. We have Easy Ride helping us. Speaking of bike lanes, Easy Ride is also helping the borough with the bike lane project for Porch Fest. We're using the same map as last year, which makes it easier. But their assistance to us has been invaluable. And by doing these things, which may not seem like much, but you think on a day like Porch Fest, like it was last year, a lot of people were aware of that. They drove their cars in, parked it, took their bikes up, and they just rode porch to porch. That made the road safer just for the, you know, for the day and for the event. So that is critical. Regarding this ceasefire resolution, there's something I would like to say. You know, we are very concerned about what is happening internationally, but personally, how I feel personally, and then how I feel as a council person representing the town can be 2 different things. And the impact of a resolution, I just don't see that it would have a significant impact, which is part of the reason why we've always just been neutral on that because we can't get an agreement in town whether or not to pass a resolution. And then if you have to look at it on a broader scale, you do have war. Wars are happening everywhere. There are a lot of innocents that are happening. Speaking of the Indie Street Festival, and I realize this is the most I've said in a long time. Indie Street Festival, they had a documentary by a young girl named Medea, who is Yazidi. And, you know, she was captured by ISIS, terrible things happened, and she's one of the survivors, again, a product of war. And I just don't know how legislatively, where our scope is the borough, how we can make significant impact as that. So that's where I stand. Thanks.
Thank you. Ben?
I got, as a liaison to the Parks and Rec, I had the honor of attending our last day of camp, which was a lot of fun. I did not go down the water slide though. All right. But very successful, nice use of our facilities. Wanted to also address the, you know, our come every meeting talking about Gaza. And, you know, I think I've made this clear, but I just want to say again, some of you aren't always here, and I do respect the exercise of freedom here, and it's wonderful to have that. Now, just for speaking for myself, I am all for a ceasefire. I'm not sure I'm all for all the language and the things you've emailed me, and I do look at them. But I hate war, the suffering, and I really wish we would find a path for peace everywhere, and especially in Gaza, the Middle East, Israel. Now, with that said, you know, I'm here as a councilman for the borough of Red Bank. And I've actually spoken to many residents on this topic, believe it or not. There's many more that don't come to these meetings, the overwhelming majority. I really don't feel, and I don't leave the word comfortable, but I just don't want to roll in this really as the borough council. It's not, I want to focus on borough issues. I'm here, you know, it's a little tough issue for me personally, because I feel that I want a ceasefire. I really don't believe in violence. But I don't find it to be borough business. And outside of this room, when I speak to the majority of residents that I've spoken to, overwhelmingly, including those who are upset with Israel and agree with your point of view, don't want Red Bank to get involved and take an issue on this. You may not believe me, but I'm just telling you, I do get around town and I've spoken to a lot of issues on it. But it isn't even about that. I just, as a person up here supposed to be doing the business of Red Bank, I think that our getting involved would do far more harm than good. And I don't think, as Nancy said, I agree with her analysis. I don't think President Biden is going to pick up our resolution and change his mind on the policies, even if we got involved. You know, I'm all fine with you coming here and probably, you know, go ahead and lobby Congressman Pallone and our other federal representatives. But I want to focus on, and I ran for office here, telling people the 2,000 doors that we all knocked on, that I'd be focusing on primarily Red Bank issues. Will I dabble outside of Red Bank issues from time to time? Maybe, and then we have on certain things, although not on international issues that I'm aware of yet. I just wanted to comment because you come here and I respect that. And, you know, I'll give you an answer. I've said this before, and I do apologize to my council members who hear me say this at every other meeting. Now let's see, any other issues I have. I wanted to also say that indirectly, I've been having trouble getting my emails, and anyone who's watching this meeting has sent me an email and I haven't been responsive. I've been bombarded with, I don't know, a few thousand emails on the topic of Gaza in my borough account from all points of view, by the way. So I'm having a hard time combing through and reading my emails, and I'm going to go through and obviously write some sort of filter or some way of getting through it, because I do this as on a part-time basis, and I've got about 3,000 emails in my mailbox on the issue of Gaza. Let's see, oh, and I wanted to say one thing, I continue to get lots of comments and concerns, this is not on Gaza, about Red Bank. And I want to thank the residents, friends and otherwise for constantly, I ran for office, I knew I'd get a lot of complaints. And my expectations for getting complaints have been wildly filled. So every week I'm writing at least a few things to our manager and some of my council colleagues. I'm even a little behind on it thanks to my email problems. But I am honored to always hear these comments. We are open, the council has office hours on Wednesday morning at the senior center. And we've even had some Gaza discussion at the senior center, as I recall. And I know the mayor has his own office hours, and I think the library does one as needed. We have Laura and
Wednesday.
on Wednesdays.
By appointment.
By appointment. But Nancy and I are almost always there at 10 to noon at the senior center on Wednesdays, and it is an honor to always hear every point of view there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Ben. Laura?
The library had a meeting tonight exactly at the same time as this, but I guess it's over because Steve's here now, right, Steve? I did have a director's report though from the library. The elevator's coming along. They switched over to a new software package, which they're getting used to. They've been having different things that you can take out of the library, and they have added a push chair to that. September is National Sign Up for a Library Card. They had their summer reading wrap up, which was very well attended. They're having Spanish language driver ed class coming up. Bridge is coming back in September, the bridge lessons. And the townwide yard sale is going to be on September 21st. And also this Friday, we had Dr. Coley come to talk about breast cancer awareness at the library, and it was very, very well attended. I wish there were more people, but it was good for the first time. And I thought it was a great mayor wellness project. So it's done by started by one of our dreamers, which was very good of her. Dog days, as Dave mentioned, is going to be September 7th. The rain date is September 8th. It will be in Riverside Park this time. And we're getting a lot of great sponsorships for it. So hopefully we'll have good weather that day and have a good turnout at that also. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I just first wanted to comment and say, I've been serving the town for about 6 years, and I can't tell you how refreshing and amazing it is just to have such an involved governing body, and how much all of us are involved in a lot of the same efforts and things. So I try to, when I comment, last not duplicate any of, we're also involved that it's so refreshing and wonderful. And one of the compliments I always get is that everybody here has had boots on the ground and that everybody is getting so much done. So I'm full of gratitude to serve with all of you. As the liaison to River Center, I also want to wish Bob well, but once again, the head of River Center, he will be here through the end of the year. And I'm also grateful for his professionalism and his ability to understand that we need all of that time to transition, to leave them in good hands. I also serve on the board of the Indie Street Film Festival, the advisory board. If anybody's wishing to go, I can't stress it enough. Please use the code RBLocal for 20% off. They've been putting that around the town for everybody in the area. So it's code RBLocal online. I don't know if anybody covered, Hispanic Heritage Month event is Sunday, September 15th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. in Riverside Gardens Park. The rain location is the middle school. So thank you to the Red Bank Borough Public Schools for providing a rain location. And I believe everything else that I'm connected to was either covered by our awesome team or Jim's gonna cover. So that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to be wrapping it up, so you do have time to get over to Two River Theater. The short Indie Street short program starts at 8 o'clock over there. And I think there's an after party at Triumph, but I will be long asleep at that point. As everyone's naming all the events happening in Red Bank, there's just so many that we didn't even, you just run out of time. There's always something happening here.
Yes.
The lunch break picnic happened last weekend. The Dr. James Parker block party happened last weekend. I was at the breast cancer awareness event, that we were at the celebration for the 120th birthday of Count Basie yesterday.
For all of us.
So it's a great town. It's vibrant, very proud to be serving as the mayor here. And I just had a moment of panic that I was not available on the 7th to go to dog days, but I checked the calendar and I am good to go. So, that's all I got.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to give a couple updates, particularly Marine Park. If you've gone down there recently, you've seen a lot of activity at the parking lot area. Right now, they're focusing their efforts on the curbing around the islands within the parking lot. So that's moving along quickly now. So I'm hoping to see that finish up soon, move over to the White Street lot to fix that easement issue there in the parking lot, and then head back over to the green space in Marine Park. Also along the lines of Marine Park, next week we have a subcommittee meeting with the subcommittee of the council, along with our engineers, to discuss phase 2 of Marine Park and all that's going to be included in that phase. So we're happy to kick that off as well. Our DPU subcommittee met today along with our architects and engineers, Netta Architects and Colliers Engineering, to go through the DPU site. We were on site with them, walking the entire site with Terrence, our DPU director, to just basically do a needs assessment there. So that project is also kicking off as well, and we have the professionals working on that too. Our camera project, we've met with OSI, a company through a co-op, so we can ensure better pricing, best pricing for the borough, to do a comprehensive camera project throughout the borough, focusing on a lot of our public spaces, Borough Hall, our other facilities, the library, spaces that lack a lot of security, so that we can, have access to that and keep an eye on those areas as far as asset protection. I was able to go out on a tour of the Navesink with Marine Unit 64-1, which is our Red Bank Fire Department, with Deputy Mayor Trigiano, who also serves as second lieutenant in her fire company. So it was a great honor to be out with those guys. They invited me out, and it's like I can go to DPU and tour those facilities and look at everything we have there, but you don't really think about that. And they're like, hey, come check this out. Come check out the service area that we actually cover, from basically here in Marine Park all the way down to our limits at the bridge. Which bridge is the
Oceanic?
Way out to Rumson, Fairhaven.
Well, yeah, and then all the way back up
We're the
to
only,
the Shrewsbury River. So these guys cover a vast area of water, and it was great to be out there with them. But what I was so impressed with was to hear that the equipment on that boat, that unit, and the boat itself was all rehabbed, was acquired all through donations by those guys. A lot of them put their own work into that, many hours on that boat. They told me that the boat was acquired from the state. It was parked in the woods, overgrown. A ton of work had to be put in to rehab that boat unit that's out there and has been deployed in many different situations. So they do a great job with what they're given, and it was definitely an honor to be with them. I've also asked our engineers, CME, to look at the library staircase. The library staircase has been in some disrepair, has been brought to my attention for quite some time. So I've asked them to provide me with a cost estimate to see what the feasibility of that is. So just another project that we're chipping away at, and we're happy to do it. So,
Question for you, because I feel like I should know this. Is it officially the DPU or the DPW?
DPU. Which it's normally DPW in many other municipalities, but they tricked me on this one, so I've gotten used to saying DPU as well. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Jim. Can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
I make such a motion, Mr. Mayor.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
We have a 5-minute break?
Yeah, our meeting is adjourned, but we have an executive session. Greg will tell you what it's about.
So the meeting will adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel matters, specific and pending employee disciplinary proceeding, as well as employee performance reviews. For any public employees listening at the moment, We are not discussing anyone's particular employment review, just the process that we're going to put in place going forward in general. This executive session will last about 20 minutes, and we will not take any action thereafter. Thank you.